It's a life of a fisherman you wouldn't understand. Something you can't feel on dry land. You gotta get your arms way up in a cage and set the hook on smallmouth bass, and then you'll understand. You gotta get your hands on a Shimano reel and a G-Loomis rod. I bet you like what you feel. Step on the deck, give it the world. Hello, welcome to my world.
Yo.
What's going on, all you Facebook Live and YouTube Live fishing freaks? Appreciate you guys joining this episode of On Another Line Live. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the 2025 Gift Giver's Guide
For
fishing.
fishermen.
Yeah, for fishermen. Triangle Bass Fishing in the house. What's up, Tony? I didn't know your name was Triangle Bass Fishing, but nice.
That was started last week. I don't know.
Triangle. Is that like the Misty? Ace is in here on the show.
Hey, today is Ace's 4th birthday.
It's Ace's 4th birthday.
Yep. I gave him
Give me a couple thumbs up for Ace there. You know, give me the
Ace is
fireworks.
like,
He don't have disposable thumbs, man.
I don't either. They're not disposable, but they are posable.
Yo, Strix Marines Plus, what's up, my brother? Dude, Strick killed an absolute hammer or a whitetail this past weekend. Freaking hammer, dude. Nice job on that one.
Dude, I've seen more people like killing deer this year than I have, and I don't know how many years. Maybe I'm just paying more attention, but holy crap.
I mean, I think there's less deer because of EHD, but you know what? I don't give a crap about whitetail. I want to catch a largemouth. I want a stinking old largemouth or spotted bass or a smallmouth. But anyway, we're going to kick this show off tonight talking about what we would like to have for Christmas, or really not. So here's what I want to do. Let's not talk about stuff that we want to have or somebody to give us. Let's talk about stuff that I think that you guys would be good to have that I own or JR owns. Starting off that, while Strick is on here, the first thing that I would recommend you doing is going out to Strix Marine Plus. Let me pull this up. My computer is acting really weird, so if it like goes totally out, let me know. Let me share the screen here really quick. I want to show you a couple things here that I recommend from Strick. And again, some of this stuff you can pick up at Borders if you want to go, or you can get it shipped through him. But you guys see here in his catalog, got a ton of stuff here. You can get new carpet, lower unit for whatever you want. It's totally up to you. Right here, Big Al Speed Shine OGC, Optic and Graph Cleaner. Which, by the way, Strick, I need to get a hold of you soon. I need to purchase some more OGC. I think my bottle must have leaked because I don't think it evaporated that much in my box. It could have, but I'm down to like a quarter of the bottle. But Big Al's OGC, which is optic and glass cleaner, this stuff right here works phenomenal. I put out a video I guess it's been several months ago about this, using it on my graphs. Works awesome. Put it on your sunglasses, what have you. Anything that is glass, or I guess anything you need to clean, windshield, stuff like that. Second off, Big Al's Speed Shine. I've been using this stuff all year. It is awesome. Smells great. Smells like cherry. It gives your gel coat, a really slick finish. He told me you can use this on anything you want. Harleys, motorcycles, trucks. Just don't put it on anything that you got to set on or stand on, because just like any other protectant like that will make it slick. And I guess you can put it on your seats, but you'll probably slide off. And again, anything you're going to step on, like mats and things, floor, make sure it's not going to get on there. But Big Al Speed Shine, again, head over to StrixMarinePlus.com. Check those out. You can use the code On Another Line for 0% off.
Sold out, man. Sold out.
That's not true. There's like 8 bottles at Borders. So if it's sold out with him, then you go over to Borders. One that I haven't had the opportunity to use here, looks like he's got a new product, Big Al Speed Shine Mildew Stain and a Mildew Stain Remover and Restorer. So if you have some seats and stuff that have some mildew on them, might be another option. Strix Marine Plus, check him out. If you need some carpet put on there, new bunk carpet, etc. He's got a lot of stuff. You need a lower unit, Matter of fact, it just hit me that he told me that he had a Evinrude E-Tech, and I was supposed to get a hold of him like months ago, and I did not. So here you go. Here's a whole deal, man. $34, you get exactly what I'm talking about. OGC and the Speed Shine. So check those out if you're looking for something to either give somebody as a gift that's in the angling world, or you're looking for somebody, you know, most of the time, like your in-laws and people, they're always like, hey, what can I get you? Because they always have this mentality like, what do you get the person who has everything? Well, if you think about fishing, it's easy for somebody to say, okay, I'll buy something for Tyler about fishing. Now, when it comes to buying me something that I don't have, that's when it gets a little tough. But stuff like this, you can always use 100% of the time.
Yeah, I need to get me some of that stuff, man. My boat is a wreck right now from coming back. It's all got tar all over it from the road. So I'd say that Speed Shine would work really nice. And it is not sold out, he says.
I don't know if you shared this or not.
I did. Yes. Ace says thank you. He got a big I got him a Happy Meal earlier, so he ate
sweet.
his first burger. So
sweet. So he's gonna have coronary next week. Anyway, what's up, Tyler Williams? What's up, man? You might want to change that Strick. If it's not sold out, it looks like it's sold out on there. So you might want to change the quantity that you have. What's up, Jack?
Jack's making comic books now. He's
sweet.
He's on number 18, I think.
You got any fishing in there?
Oh yeah. Oh, no. Most of them have Baymax involved.
It's Baymax.
You could probably call it the Ventures of the Spinnerbait Man. Oh, Strick says it's fixed now. So it's not sold out. He's got plenty. There you go. Yeah. See? Hey, listen, we went out and we talked to the man. He went out in his garage and made some more. That's not exactly how it happened. That's not how it happened. He went to the website and updated the quantity that he has available. But those are two things I would definitely recommend. I'm not saying that just because he's on here. I've used these products all year. They are up on par, if not better, than the stuff I used previously. I'll be honest with you. I was using stuff like Chemical Guys. I really like their products for a while. They're really expensive, more than double what you're paying for Strix. And I feel like they're, you're getting similar results with it. I've used it, the Big Isle Speed Shine, on not only my Harley, but on my boats. I have 2 boats, and it's, I spray them down frequently, usually about once a week or so, especially after I wash them. And I'm down to about a half a bottle. So I've used them a ton all summer. So it'll last you at least 2 years if you're, frugal with it, if not longer. Definitely is good.
Yeah, I have to give me some of Borders.
Yeah, there's several bottles over there. Great deal. I mean, it's the way it is. So again, I don't know. I think we should probably break this down into like things that I use daily and JR uses daily, and I can talk about something that we use daily right now. And something that every angler needs is sunglasses. So with that being said, you can see down here in the bottom of the screen, obviously, SolarBat is a big proponent of our show. I've been sponsored by SolarBat for 6 years now, I believe. I've been a full sponsored person. Now, I don't really call myself a pro staff because, pro staff is way overused, and like it just feels like that just means, promotional staff is what it means. It means it's somebody that I'm helping sell products. So that's what I'm trying to do now. But it's something I believe in. I've used their products for a long time. Matter of fact, I got a pair laying right here on my desk. These things are old as all get out. These are SolarBat FL3s, I believe. We'll check them out in just a second. But let's take a look at them really quick. I'm going to show you guys some things that will happen. Right now is the time to buy, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. And I know Christmas is still a month away, but now's the time to buy them. I'm going to show you why. Again, the cool thing about SolarBat is that the guy that owns the thing, Gary Nesty, is actually an optometrist. So the guy is literally an eye doctor. So he's created these things in the, no pun intended, the vision of an optometrist. Now, with that said, practically every frame, I think, if not all frames, you can get in any prescription that you need because he is an optometrist. You can go to your, eye doctor here, or if you have handy, you can send him your prescription, and he will actually make these things for you. in your prescription, which is, I think is really cool. But I'm going to show you why it's right now is the time to buy. If you look here at the top in the gold bar here, Black Friday starts now, 50% off site wide. So that's through December 7th. So that's talking about like till the end of this weekend. And also, for every $70 you spend, you'll get a free pair of their yellow safety. I think they're yellow, but they're safety glasses. We'll take a look at it in just a second. But if I go here to my cart, I can show you one of my favorite lenses, and that, or my favorite frame, and that is the Cruise Polarized. Now, this is similar to like a Ray-Ban style. I like them a lot. You can get in a ton of different lens colors. There's like this would be amber, and then you have the gray ice blue mirror. Then you have gray. Actually, this is the ice blue mirror. This is the amber blue green mirror. This is the moss back. And actually, this is moss back, and I believe this is the high contrast yellow. Fairly expensive glasses, as you can tell, $150. Now, here is why I tell you it's now time to buy these things, because 50% off site wide. If this is in here and I go to my cart again, which I will see here in just a second, if I choose to check out here, you will see that there's no code needed. I get 70 or 50% off right off the rip. Now, if you use the code Tyler W, it's not going to show here. It'll let me apply it. But what's going to happen is the shipping right here, if I entered a shipping address here, it will give me free shipping. So this is 75% off or 50% off anything on the site. If you use the code Tyler W, you get free shipping. And for every $70 you spend, you get a free pair of safety glasses from them. So you're getting a 2 pair of glasses for $75, no shipping. And that goes all the way through the 7th. Really good deal. It's really tough to find something like this where you can buy quality stuff at a discounted rate. Again, they do run a lot of specials, but this is one of the best ones I've seen in a long time. I really like the Cruise frame, but if I was going to look at creating a second one or looking at, excuse me, looking at some other frames, I'll show you here if I can. For some reason, let's go back here. So again, one of my absolute craziest things here about SolarBat, I love them to death, love their products, but you can go and look at the performance stuff. Actually, let's go back here. This is what I was talking about right here. If I go to SolarBat Shades and I go to electronic series, right here, RB2. This is Randy Blockhat's. This is his signature series in the electronics series. Anybody see something weird about that? But anyway, a couple of my favorites that I really like. If I could get my mouse to actually work. Again, the Cruise, I really like those. JR has this Bat CYL or Bat Seal. I think I'll let JR speak to those. I haven't worn them.
Yeah, I like them, man. They're comfortable. They cover a lot of your face, and man, right now is the time to get them 50% off.
HP3. These are Hank Parker's. Yeah, I have this one right here. The HP3s, I like those pretty well. Those are Hank Parker. I have the Floating Bat ones here. They're kind of thick on the sides. I find myself not wearing these as much in the summertime because I hate having that big old raccoon eye. So I wear these in the spring and the fall, winter, places like that. Keeps the air off your face, especially when running down the lake when it's really cold. A couple more here that I really like, and we'll talk some more stuff. There is these are new, the SB2249. These are brand new, as well as the SB2285. And I believe one of those, I think this one right here, the 2249, was actually a Bradley Roy deal. And I don't see the actual one. It might be in the perform or the signature. What I'm looking for is the one I just showed you guys there. Check these out right here. These are Cruise. Little different frames, different collar frame. They're green. So this right here is a $40 pair of sunglasses, which is pretty daggone cool. You can get them in all those. It's the same frame, guys. It's just like a light green instead of a black. I have several pair of them. I really like the green, to be honest with you. I didn't know they made it. And they must have got rid of the one. Let me see if I can find it. I'm pretty sure they were called the FL3, and that's the one I just showed you. That's the floating bat 3, yeah. Yeah, these are them. I really like it because it has a half sun, it has half of the lens uncovered, which I feel like you can see a lot more with that. You're not hindered by that frame at the bottom.
Yeah, that is a pretty sweet deal, man. 50% off. It's hard to beat.
And that's through the 7th. Again, it has nothing to do with the show, and they do sponsor us. But again, I really like the products really well. Before we go any farther, let's throw this up here. Again, this episode brought to you by Hannah Sublett Insurance Broker, protecting your health, securing your future. Give me a call at 740-456-7944. If you're looking for health or life insurance in Kentucky, West Virginia, or Ohio, she will help you out. Again, I said this last week, and it is not a lie. She saved my buddy almost $900 a month a couple weeks ago. And that's a 100% truth. That is not a fallacy, and I'm not lying to you. I could put the guy on the phone right now, and he would tell you the same thing. She was able to save him $900 a month. He was a high-risk case. He still has, he has great insurance with her, actually better than he had. And again, the dude's, putting a pile of money in his pocket, like $10,000 extra in his wallet that he doesn't have to spend on insurance, which is pretty good.
I think Brent has those Shady Rays and likes them quite a bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, is that the one that they have a lifetime? Oh, so that's another thing we need to talk about there with the solar bats. They have a really great warranty on them too, lens and frame. I'm not going to do it to these glasses because I don't feel like sending them back. But they, on their website, will tell you, even if you break these things, if I were to went and grab this thing and snap this frame right in two and done it right here on this video, I could send these frames and glass and lenses back to them for $10. They will send me a brand new frame with these same lenses that I sent in there back. So that's no questions asked. Lenses and frames for $10. You send them back. They will replace the parts that are broke, send them straight back to you, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, it's kind of nice having these newer brands that are kind of going against these old school brands like Ray-Ban and stuff that are, more reasonably priced, and they last forever if you use the warranty.
Yeah, Strick's right. Hannah Sublett is a scratch golfer, man. She freaking beats the heck out of it. She gives golf lessons all the time. If you're interested, get a hold of her for that as well. Golf lessons or, save your life or something. Who knows? Yeah, so I think that's a big thing for glasses. That's one of the biggest things I hate about fishing rods anymore. There's several rod companies that have lifetime warranties, and which, by the way, JR just had to use the lifetime warranty on a GL or a IMX Pro the other day. Broke the tip off of 852 or whatever it was. Pretty seamless process.
Yeah,
another thing,
pretty easy, man. That's what I was just going to look at to see. They said it's ordered and on the way, which with the holiday and everything, it says new rod ordered. That's all. I turned it in, they received it, I shipped it, new rod ordered. It's funny. It's a 7'6" medium heavy rod, and I broke it on a 11.5-inch spotted bass.
Yeah.
Which,
by the way, guys, I'm going to put you guys on something that has been an absolute game changer for me, and I actually just turned JR onto it. I really don't know how they can make this happen. But this website right here, shippo.com, actually it's goshippo.com. Normally, if you were to send an entire rod back to Loomis, which is in Washington, you had to put the whole. See, it used to be back in the day, it was no questions asked, lifetime warranty. Well, I'm sure they got tired of people just breaking rods because they wanted a new one, or finding pieces of rods and shipping them back. Like, it used to be that you could just cut the butt handle off of the rod and it would show as long as it showed the model number on it, you could ship it back in like a package and they would ship you a brand new rod. Well, now you can't do that. You got to send the entire rod back, even the broken piece. If it doesn't fall in the water or whatever, you need to send it back. They determine if it's a manufacturer warranty or manufacturer defect, and then what have you. But if you were to ship a rod back to Loomis or any other place in the United States, it's going to cost you over $100 closely. It's usually anywhere from $70 to $100. It's crazy to ship a rod because it's so long. You know, it's just like they ship it on like the weight of it and the size of it and that length of it. It doesn't matter how big around it is. They go by length. And again, it's way more than $50. It's like $50 to $70, depending on where you're sending it. Drew Sadler actually put me onto this website, goshippo.com, because I told him, for, $100, I can almost put another $50 with it and not worry about it, call and use the expediter warranty and get a brand new rod sent to me anyway. And he was like, oh no, use Shippo. So that's when I figured this out. And I assume that you could do this for a lot of stuff. This is not just for rods, but what'd you pay the other day? Like $28 or something?
25 bucks.
$25 to ship it all the way to Washington State. Something that's the rod tube's like 8 foot long. So $25. I promise you, if you take this to the USPS, one, it's going to get broken before it gets there. Or two, you go to UPS or FedEx, it's going to cost you close to $100 to ship this thing. So goshippo.com, check it out. Not sponsored, but definitely want to put you on that stuff.
How about if you're looking for a gift for me for Christmas, go get me a Borders gift card.
Yeah.
I can get anything I want there. Just give me a Borders gift card. I've had people get me that once because I'm told I'm hard to shop for, and nobody can know what I want for fishing stuff. So that's what I always say. Give me a Borders gift card. That way I can, and if anybody, the outdoorsman, they're going to have something that they want at Borders.
Yeah, for sure. I will say that I bought some live fishing bags, and I actually bought them from the TikTok shop, to be honest with you. You can get them on Amazon or somewhere. I was looking for some soft plastic storage bags over the summer. Ended up picking up the live fishing bags because they were on a sale. I think I bought 5 of them for $100. So it was like buy 4, get 1 free. So that kind of sold me. I bought them, and then as soon as they were being shipped out, people told me, man, they're really great bags, but the zippers suck and they always blow out. So I was like, crap, now you tell me. Because I was between that and the 6 cents bags. The only reason I didn't go with 6 cents is the fact that they were about $10 more expensive, and the 6 cents bags were not clear on top, so you could see down in them. I will say that I've been pretty ginger with them because people told me that the zippers were pretty bad to start with, so I've kind of like babied them. But so far, they've worked out great. They've been smashed in between each other. They've been thrown around my boat. I really like the fact, a lot of times, guys, I don't even keep the zippers closed because they have magnets that close on them. So that's really all you need unless you're like really crazy throwing your stuff around. But it allows me to keep my soft plastics together and out of the way. Really like those things. So if you're looking for something there, maybe for tackle storage, I would highly recommend those things. Again, not a sponsorship deal there. That's just something I've used over the past. And it's something that I absolutely have used all year, and I really like them a lot.
Yeah, I think there's so many different companies now that have these soft plastic storage. They're really nice. I mean, that's a simple, easy gift for a fisherman that we all need. Rod covers. 6 cents does a great job. I mean, you can find them on sale all the time too. I have their bags, a bunch of them actually. The original KVD bags are also really good. I actually haven't seen the Bass Pro ones before, Ed. I'm sure they make a nice one too. The other one that I looked at recently was that North Shore. Their bag looks really nice, a little pricey. But for another thing that would be great, and a lot of these other guys sell the same thing. I know Liv does, but the Rod Glove has the best neoprene rod sleeves I've seen. I've bought different ones. The 6 cents ones are nowhere near as nice. I've had rods go through a lot of the stitching there out the tips or out the side. I think they've actually fixed it and made it better. Actually looking at their new design, but man, it's hard to beat those Rod Glove ones. They're really nice.
Yeah, I'll second that. I have several of those. I'm gonna be ordering a bunch more here soon. They make a normal one, Rod Glove. It's like definitely buy the Neoprene, the Pro Series or whatever. The other ones are not as nice. Definitely, splurge, and they're really not that expensive, man. I remember when those like just standard rod socks that were just corrugated plastic, basically.
Yeah. $20.
They were like, dude, they used to be like $15 to $20 a piece. I was like, people are getting rich off these things, and I bought a ton of them, and I've got probably 5 in my boat, like Jared said, that the ends are blown out of, that I got to like melt them back together or whatever I'm going to do. But the Neoprene Rod Glove definitely is something I would definitely look into.
Yeah, and
I know something else that I would definitely recommend is this is something that I will never go fishing without. They've changed that handle on them a little bit, but the blade is still the same. This is the KVD Precision Split Ring pliers and braid cutter. This area right here that cuts the braid is serrated. This thing right here, normally, you have to kind of like take a piece of pliers and kind of like saw it back and forth to get braid to cut, especially if it's like quality braid, like Power Pro or something, especially like Super Slick, something that's like, 8 carrier braid or something that slides through there. This stuff right here cuts it like, a hot knife going through butter. Plus you get that split ring section at the top. This little hook right here, this hole right here, I think is to, pull on a hook so you can tighten the knot up. But it does have a little locking mechanism here. This thing right here on mine is bent, but let's face it, once you get them out of there, you're probably not going to be working with them. It's funny because this picture right here looks like it's been in somebody's boat for like 6 months. They're like, hey, go out and go get those pliers. Let's take a picture of them. You see, it's been used a ton of times there, but these things are $8 on Walmart. You can get them pretty much anywhere. I don't know if Borders has them or not, but this is something that I would definitely recommend getting because of the fact that they're very handy. They're very small. It doesn't show you here very good, and it's just got, of course, KVD because his name's on them. But these things are only about probably 3 inches long, maybe 3.5 at the most. So they're easy to store, easy to put like in your pocket if you're fishing. It's really good stuff. Something that I would absolutely recommend somebody picking up. Once you have it, it's not going to be something that you use. You're going to use it daily, and it's going to be something that you can dive into.
It's great for braid, man. I love those stinking things. I've got a couple of them. I mean, they mess up. You just throw it away and get a new one. But like those nippers are really good too. That's a good gift for a fisherman is nippers. I like them things. They're like really tiny, and what's the classic one? I forget the name of that brand. You remember, Tyler?
You're talking about the one on the leash, a little.
Yeah. I forget the name of it.
There used to be that company like Line Cutters that was like a ring. I don't think it took off very well.
Yeah. Well,
did you put this comment up here from 740 Bass Fishing? Busby?
Yes.
Right,
Yes.
Busby,
He's talking about the Busby ones, yeah.
Pull up something else here that you can't get your hands on unless you order or call over at Brad to get him to order from you. I don't know anybody locally that carries them. Getting Brad to try to pick some up.
Boomerang. That's the name of the one I was trying to think of, Tyler.
Boomerang
tool nippers. It's the most I've ever said that word in any sequence in my life, but yeah, that Busby stuff's pretty interesting. I did notice it was kind of expensive, but I've kind of gone all in on the Planos, so it's kind of hard to go to something else at this point.
Yeah, all my stuff is Lure Lock. Dove in and bought a bunch of those things. They make a thin box. It's like a 3700 thin. dude, it is the freaking berries, because you could put like 20 of them in the same spot. You could put 10 regular boxes, but they hold the same amount of baits. Brad is the man. So show you guys this out really quickly here. This is something that I just newly purchased and picked up myself. This is the Gill Meridian hoodie. Now, this is similar to an AFCO Reaper with some differentiation. This is more of a lighter version of the Reaper. This is not something that you're probably going to wear in like -10 degrees. You're probably still going to opt for that Reaper. The Reaper's a lot thicker. This is more of like a 50 degree, 40 degree weather all the way up. I figure you can wear this thing to like 75 and be okay, because it's not super thick, but it's not like paper thin. This is not like a sun shirt. But a couple of things I really like about this that I've dove into, and I bought both the Sage and the black. I normally wear large, extra large. I always buy extra large in hoodies because they are, I like them loose, and a lot of times I have shirts and stuff underneath them. So I bought extra large on here, and it did fit as expected. It says Gill Fishing down the side of it, which I really like. But a couple of things you probably see a little better here on the Sage one. It has a standard kangaroo pocket where you can fill all the way through, but on top of that there is a I would say that's even more like a kangaroo pouch at the top. It's got a zipper, goes into its own pocket. So you have this one that you can goes all the way through, so you can fill your hands in there. But this right here is its own third pocket with a zipper. A couple of things I used it for the other day. I was listening to music on my boat with my phone. I had it in that pocket. But the last time I went out, you guys know that I do a lot of filming, and I have a GoPro on a chesty all the time, which is a mount that, kind of like wraps around your chest, kind of like a jacket. Before I would put a Yolatech power bank in my back pocket and run a wire up to my camera, which worked out great, except you got this big power bank in your back pocket, and I have broken 2 power banks by setting on the cords. It breaks the USB port out of the power banks. So the other day, I put that power bank in this pocket, zipped it up to where it wouldn't come out, and just have that cord going to my camera. An absolute game changer for me. Last week, I could hardly tell I was wearing the chesty. I didn't have that big heavy pack in my backpack or in my back of my pocket. Allowed me to do that. You can put your sunglasses in there. A couple things I really like about this Gill Meridian hoodie that that you may find that's a little bit better than the Reaper, in my opinion. This has a coating on the material that is a water wicking or water resistant material. Now, this is not going to be something you're going to be wearing in the rain for 2 hours and stay dry. But if you're out there in a damp day, or it starts sprinkling and it's sprinkling for 25, 30 minutes, it's going to allow that water to run right off from you, and you're not going to get wet. Now, is it going to eventually get saturated? Sure. It's not a rain suit or a rain jacket. It's a hoodie with a water resistant coating. Another thing here that I kind of like about this that you can't see, and I wish they would kind of do a better job here, is that the bottom of these hoods actually have like through portals that go from your back up into the hood. So it allows ventilation to come up from your neck, but it also allows, if you're running down the lake, air to go through that and out the hood instead of having to blow your hood off, which I think is amazing. Another thing that this has that the Reaper does not have is that you can actually unbutton and remove the gaiter that's here in case you don't want it. The material that this thing's made out of, the inner side of it, is the most comfortable thing that I've worn to date. Again, I own 3 AFCO Reapers, and now I have 2 Meridian hoodies. Again, they are not interchangeable, I don't believe. If I was going to be super cold, I would still probably opt for the Reaper. But this hoodie right here is an absolute amazing thing, especially if you're like down around Tony's area, around there, North South Carolina, where it doesn't get super cold. This right here would be super awesome to have. Obviously, buy it on their website, but if you're interested in our area and you'd like to get your hands on them, Brad over at Borders will be able to order from them. That's how I picked mine up. Order both of them from them. Now, if you talk about on the upper end of things, I have been blessed this year to wear the Meridian X rain suit. And I think they just call it the Meridian system now. But I'll show you what I have. So I have both of those. I have them, the Meridian X and Meridian X bib. I have them in the shadow camo, just as you see here. We can dive into the the jacket here really quick. Some of the stuff I really like has a really high neck band on it. I really like that. The hood comes up over your hat, which is something I find frustrating when they don't do that. So if it's raining, water runs over your hat. Normally it hits your hat bill and it soaks your hat bill. And next thing you know, your whole hat's wet and ergo your head's wet. Has a lot of pockets in here. But a couple of things I really like about this jacket is the fact that there's a drawstring, and it's really tough to see here. I don't know that you can see it in any of these pictures, but there's a drawstring that goes around the back of the you can kind of see like there's a line right here. If you got Jared, I assume that you can see my my mouse. Can you see that on the screen? Oh, sweet. Jared's not even there. Anyway, this line that you see right here, I hope you guys can see my mouse because I can't see it. But this little line right here has you can see that little gap right there. There's a drawstring that goes from pocket to pocket. So you can pull on that for both sides, and it has like a stopper on it, just like any other drawstring, and you can cinch that up around your waist. So when you're sitting down and stuff like that, you're not getting water up in your jacket, which I really like. Gil Meridian X. Now, if we look at we'll dive into the rain bibs that I have right now. And again, guys, these look fairly expensive. You're talking $259 and $229 for bibs and a rain jacket. Go out and do a little research. This is probably lower end. They actually have an Apex version, which is a lot better than this. But I personally cannot see why it would be that much better. A couple of things I really like about these bibs. I really like the reinforced knees. They zip all the way up to the hip, where most of them always zip up to the knee. These things go all the way to the hip. They have Velcro around those zippers to keep it double insulated from water. And it zips through these. I was really hesitant because these shoulder straps are Velcro. I thought, man, I'm going to have to take these Velcros off every time to put them off and on. Matter of fact, if you look at the Apex that they have, it doesn't even have a zipper here on the front, and you have to wonder how you get in them. The Apex actually has a zipper that goes all the way up the side of them, so you can basically zip them totally off, and you kind of step into them. Well, that's the same way with here. I've found that once I get those things, it's kind of like that old Ronco commercial, that set it and forget it type deal, where you put them on, get them comfortable, and you can lift them up over your shoulders. There's enough crotch space there, if you will, that you can pick them up over your shoulder and then just zip it up the front. That was something I was really hesitant about, was that the fact that it just has Velcro right here. This is Velcro that straps up on there. I have not had a problem. One thing that you're probably going to get that on the Apex that you don't get on this Meridian X is there's not many pockets in the bibs. There's a kind of like a chest pocket, if you will. There's going to be one right below the gill and one right here. But other than that, there's no pockets in the bibs at all. There is this little black thing you can see right there. That's actually I call it a holster. It's on both sides for a pair of pliers. So you can put it in there if you needed to. Those are some stuff. Again, I get it. They're pretty expensive, but those are two Gil products that I have used and, have had great success with them this year. I'm super glad I've got to wear those this year.
What are those cold water gloves you really like again?
They are Blackfish Arid, but Blackfish, I believe, either went out of business or somebody bought them. Clam Outdoors.
What is it?
Clam Outdoors.
Clam?
Yeah, right here.
Clam.
Clam, CLAM, right here. I just bought a new pair the other day. Right here's what he's talking about, the Arid waterproof gloves.
Yeah.
They're still Blackfish branded, but when you order them,
Clam.
you get them through Clam. Don't ask me why. I'm almost 100% positive Blackfish probably went out of business or Clam just bought them all out. These are awesome. I wear large. My hands are fairly big. I mean, if you look at this compared to my iPhone, like my fingers are sticking up over my iPhone. This is an iPhone 15 Pro Max. The large fit me perfect. Waterproof. Now, if you get your water up over the cuff of them, obviously water's going to run in them. But this time of year, if you're out there chasing fish in the late winter, early spring, when the water is like sub 50 degrees, these things are game changers because you can reach down in the water and grab some fish and get them out of there. They are 100% waterproof. I've held my hands underwater just to make sure that they would hold water, and they do. Or they keep water out really good. They do have capacitive touch fingers on them, so if you're using like a touchscreen graph like a Garmin or a Humminbird, Solix or an Explorer, you can still use those with these gloves on. They're the dexterity and the movability in your fingers is still great. I fished these things all day 2 Fridays ago, I guess now, or maybe 3 Fridays ago when I was down in Cumberland. Friday and Saturday it was pretty daggone cold. I wore them all day long until it started getting warm. Once you get used to them, you'll never know that you have them on. I really, really like them. They're definitely worth the money.
Well, if you're out there listening, man, I can't wait for them to mention this thing that I love. Please let us know. I mean, maybe you got something that we would love. I mean, I think something that everybody can think of for their fisherman buddies or what have you is maybe something for fish care, like some G juice for when it gets warmer out. Personally, if I'm putting fish in my live well, I always put a little bit of G juice. I don't think it's like a luck thing. I recently bought some of those weights to help the fish balance out. I got those at Borders the other day. And then, of course, the needles to fizz any deep fish that you catch. I think that's a really good thing.
Yeah, didn't I give you one of those? I thought I bought them, but I don't remember if I gave you one or not. I picked them up on Amazon. They were like 3-pack or 2-pack. They were like $20 worth every penny. What's up, Donnie? I saw your messenger a second ago. How's Brad's shoulder? As far as I know, he's still kind of limping around on that thing. He's still kind of waiting. He's been back and forth with the doctor, trying to wait on, figure out what's going on. He said he's already had surgery once, looking to have to do that again, but he's still kind of, I guess he's been kind of had a rough way to go up at Cabell. I think that's where he's at. He's like seeing doctors and stuff up there. But as far as I know, he's still all right. But yeah, man, I appreciate Brad a lot. He's helped us out a ton, and it's all good. Ed, I saw that you said on there, are those gloves neoprene? They are not. They are like a fleece. They're like a fleece material. They don't feel like that they will be waterproof. They feel like as soon as you put them in the water, they would just soak water right up, but they do not. I'm sure that has some kind of like Gore-Tex lining or something. But you could, if you put your hand in cold water, you're going to feel the cold water. Don't get me wrong. It's not like they're neoprene where they just kind of block out the temperature, but you're not going to get your hands wet. So, out there in the rain, especially if it's this time of year and it's going to rain, you put those things in your pocket, put on a good set of rain, good rain suit, and keep your hands dry. A lot of times, you're fishing, you got your hands up like this. A lot of times you're, fishing or casting. Water runs right down your arm, straight into the cuff of your shirt, and then next thing you know, you're wet down to your underwear. So that saves that a little bit. Wow, that sucks. Ed. It sounds to me like somebody has put a 5 out in your back. I've been hooked several times. Matter of fact, the latest time was me and Kyle were at Champlain. 2 summers ago, we're fishing the Toyota Series, and he hooked me with a spy bait right in the, mid of my back. Had to use the old braid trick, which was not fun, but those Nipex bolt cutters wouldn't have helped me out because the barb was totally buried. So if you could see the barb, sure, man, that's a good idea. Have some mini bolt cutters in the bag as well.
What is the name of that little mini starter that you told me about, Tyler?
It's a Noco.
Noco. That is a great thing. I mean, that's just thankfully I've never had to use it, but it's a great thing, a little Noco charger and something that you get stuck on the water in a pinch, your batteries run low, and you can, start up your engine with a quick jolt from a NOCO. I think that's a good thing.
Yep. So here it is. It's a GB20. This is safe for lithium, which most people are going to have, in your boat eventually anyway. This is good for lead acid and all other too, but this will boost up to a 4-liter gas engine. Really small. This thing is not very big at all. Probably looking at it's probably 5 inches long. You just pull it out. Obviously you have to charge the thing or keep it charged, but as far as I know, I have one on my boat right now that I check every now and again. Matter of fact, it's not in my bass boat anymore, and I'm going to tell you why in just a second. But it's in my pleasure boat. But I charged it at the beginning of the summer, and at the end of the summer, I just pressed the button to see the charge of it, and it was still fully charged. Now I'm sure it'll go dead eventually, especially if you keep it in a cold weather environment, because cold weather and lithiums do not mix unless it has a heater in it, which, let's face it, this little thing doesn't for $79. But JR's right. This is something you pick up to have. It's peace of mind. You can put this thing pretty much in your cooler or whatever, if you don't have a bunch of ice or anything in there, obviously, or someplace back by your batteries or whatever. It's just peace of mind knowing that, especially if you're like me, running like 3 huge graphs on LVS 34 and all that stuff on there. And the only reason that I don't have one of these in my bass boat anymore is that I was lucky enough to be able to purchase this past fishing season. I bought a 160 amp hour Powerhouse lithium starting battery for my boat. And it actually has one of these things built right into it. It has a button, you press it, and it will, keeps enough charge to boost your battery one time to get you back to the ramp, which is an amazing deal. But up until that point, I bought one of these, and I have them in every vehicle I am. Misty's got one in her car, which her car is brand new. My truck is a 2020. I have one in my truck, one in my pleasure boat. They're worth the peace of mind, man, and they're really good. Matter of fact, I've saved people stranded. It was funny. Misty and I were going to a Marshall football game, and this kid comes up to me frantic, trying to say that he needed to get home and is wondering if I had any jumper cables. His car wouldn't start. And I was like, no, I don't have jumper cables, but I have this booster. So I went there and started this guy's car with this thing. And I thought he was going to try to kiss me. He was so happy, which is good. I've done that twice now. A lot of kids at my school, I rescue them too. Really good deal here. This thing is $79. That Powerhouse lithium battery I was talking about is like $1,400. So a lot different price range.
Mm-hmm. So Brent says, get the steps for your trailer. So I just did. You know why? I'm 40. This is 40.
Dude, I would get them too, but I probably just will make a set eventually whenever I drag the welder out.
Mm-hmm.
I have trouble spending like $1,000 on something that I could build myself. But I would probably have more than
installed. Malone's Marine, $500.
Oh, you just got them?
Yep.
Yeah, so
it's nice. They put it on, no issues.
Yeah, I need to get a set, but like right now, man, like I'm at the point now where I got to do some work to my boat this coming year. As I told JR, I've been running Odyssey Extreme Series batteries in my boat, and dude, they have been rock freaking solid. They're one of the best batteries I've ever messed with in my entire life. I'm not gonna lie to you. They're like PCM 2150s. They have 2150 cold cranking amps, which is stupid. It's like twisting your freaking starter off your motor. But these things are 7 years old right now, and I'm not exaggerating a bit. They're 7 years old this year, and they're still cranking. Except I got one battery that has a couple of dead cells in it, and it's throwing my NOCO charger into a tizzy. So as bad as I hate to say it, it's time to change my batteries out. Now, with that being said, the problem with Odyssey is the fact that there's no dealers in this area. Matter of fact, Chris Malone has tried to get a hold of them to become a dealer, and they won't talk to him. I've tried to reach out to get them dealer information. They won't respond to me. I don't know what the deal is, but Odyssey batteries have been awesome. But Odyssey batteries, especially the PCM 2150s that I have in my boat, I have 3 of them in my boat, and they're almost $600 a piece for a lead acid battery that are 74 pounds a piece. So you're looking at, 210 plus pounds of weight back there in my boat. And for the same price, you can buy no-name lithium batteries. Like JR is running LI times right now, and at this point hasn't had any problems with them. They have like a 5-year warranty on them as well, just like most other stuff. So at that point, it's kind of worth the thought. There's used to be back in the day when lithium very first come out, you had a lot of people, their boats were like burning down with lithium and stuff. And I think they've got that changed. But it's tough for me to go out and spend $1,800 on, Odyssey batteries, which I absolutely love them, man. I would love to have them again. But $1,800 for 3 batteries when we were just looking the other day, JR and I were like, for 100 amp hour deep cycle lithium time, LI time, just cheap, no name Chinese batteries from Amazon, with an app, just like my Powerhouse, to show you exactly how much, how much juice you have via Bluetooth. They're like $228 a piece or something. And they're like 18 pounds a piece. So you're dropping, 150 pounds of weight, plus gaining, a little bit of extra amperage there. But a lot of times, though, a lot of people don't think about it, is that these boats, especially my boat in 2006, was not built for lithium batteries. Let's face it, they didn't exist. They were expected to have really big lead acid batteries in them. Sometimes, folks, when you lose that 200 pounds of weight, you see detriment in your top speed, because the rear end, the rear end of your boat doesn't set as far into the water. Your motor distance changes. But one thing that I have going for me is that I have a hydraulic jack plate, so I can move that motor to find where my boat is the happiest at that point. I'll have to do some switching and put some of my tackle in the back, because again, if it's too front heavy, it's not going to run that good anyway. That's kind of where I'm at. I would definitely look at, if you're looking for lead acid batteries, there's no other that I would ever choose other than Odyssey batteries. They are the top dogs in the industry, no doubt. I really like Powerhouse Lithium right now. If I was going to buy brand name, I would buy their stuff, but I have a really hard time paying $1,000 for a battery that I can get on Amazon for $250. And let's face it, 100% of all lithium batteries are coming from China and Japan anyway. So it's probably coming from the same factory, and they stick a different sticker on it.
All that lithium's come from the same place. I agree. And that's why I went with Lifetime, like Fred.
Yeah, I mean, they're worth a shot for a quarter of the price. You know what I mean? I hope JR doesn't have to deal with it, but I wish somebody would have to be the scapegoat to find out what their warranty is like.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it'll be one of those things that'll be like pulling teeth to get them replaced, or you'll have to ship the battery back to China and it'll be 3 months before you see it again. Most of those lithium companies will not give you a new battery anyway. They'll just rebuild the battery that you have. So they'll send it back. They'll replace the lithium, cells that are bad, and they'll send them back to you. But again, I'm a realist. I think all lithium batteries are made the same. The only reason I paid so much for that Powerhouse Lithium is that it has 11-year warranty, and it also has that power bank built in. So I could lose it, that I could put that other power bank in another boat or my other vehicle or whatever, and I could always have that peace of mind. And again, Powerhouse Lithium is an American company, but they're not manufacturing those batteries here. They're getting them made in China and they're shipping them here. Matter of fact, I looked at actually getting my own on another line brand lithium batteries. You can look at places like Alibaba, which obviously is coming from China. Let's do a little research here. If you buy enough of these things, let's see here. Just do a quick search here. And I know you guys are not seeing this, but I will show you in just a second. Matter of fact, here's one that kind of looks like a Lifetime battery. 12 volt, 100 amp hour, deep cycle. $105 a piece. If you order enough of them, some of these places will give you the option. Probably not here. They'll give you the option for so many. If you buy like 50 of them, they'll stick your own sticker on there.
Ed, I've got the Minn Kota Precision. I've loved it. I've not had any problems with it.
I have a Noco 4-bank. Really like that. Yeah, so I mean, like, these things are pretty crazy. Guaranteed that you could get them. All these places would stick your sticker on there. I guarantee it. Whatever you wanted to call them. So this is all coming from the same factory, practically. You know, there's options out there. 100 amp hour, 12.8 volts. Matter of fact, you can. What I was actually looking at was a 36 volt. If I could type.
Yeah, it's nice too that they've got all of this competition now. I think it's just made it a lot better and made the prices come down, because when lithiums first came out, man, they were outrageous, and now this is just making it a whole lot better.
Yep. So 38 volt, 40 amp hour, which is not that great. I'm sure there's more that you can get, but $255 for a 36 volt battery. Actually, you can get a 60 amp hour right there, which wouldn't be too bad. $255 for a 36 volt battery, or 38 volt, which is that's unheard of.
Yeah, I feel like I've kind of given away a lot of the things that like I really like, and a lot of them are just like convenience things, you know, like those little nippers. There it is again. Some of the things to stay warm on the boat. Here's a good one. Nobody thinks about this. Nobody told me this when I was a kid. Man, those buddy heaters are freaking amazing. Like, if you're hunting, if you're in your garage, rigging tackle, buddy heaters are like a cheap, awesome option.
I see people fishing with them on their boat, and I really didn't get it. I guess if you were like close to it, and maybe it would give you enough heat there to be close, but my dumb rear end would burn my line.
Yeah, to get really close to it. But.
Yeah. I mean, you get in those cold days when you get ice forming in your guides. That's when you realize that there's a fine line between dedicated and dumb.
Yeah. Yeah, I had that, you know, those steps installed, and I was sitting there thinking, these people are like looking at me hauling my boat around saying, this idiot just went fishing. It's just snowed and, you know, 25 degrees.
Yeah, this is great information for Fred here. He is true about that. Matter of fact, I was looking everywhere to make sure people were running lithiums on my E-Tech before I bought them. But he is right. If you get something like a Ficht injection or something like that, an older boat, like in the 2000s or lower, you throw in a lithium battery on an old outboard, you're going to fry the stator in a heartbeat. I'm sure it has something to do with the amount of amperage it's putting through there at one given time. Another thing that you have to think about when it comes to lithium batteries is that you don't get that really low, like, and your boat might finally get enough juice to start. When a lithium battery goes dead, it flatlines. It goes from 100% to you have nothing. JR ran into that at Lake St. Clair this past year. Thought he did plug his boat in, but the power that he plugged it into was non-existent. Went out fishing the tournament, had 0 battery charge.
Yep, from now on, I will not only plug it in, but make sure it's charging. Golly, that was so frustrating.
Yeah,
that was
definitely
like a really long run too.
Well, look at those. Definitely look at the lights when you plug them in on your charger and make sure that you're doing that.
Yeah, open it up and stick your head in there and make sure every time now.
True story. Another thing, totally not sponsored here, but Blue Rock Custom Tackle. If you're looking for some tackle to get somebody, or you want to buy some stuff for yourself and say somebody gave it to you, or get a. I'm sure. Matter of fact, I don't know if they're doing it anymore, but they had a. I think it was over the weekend. It's probably for Black Friday. I don't know if it's still working or not. You have to check it out. But if orders over $100, you get a free tumbler, which I thought was a cool deal.
Mhm.
The 1099 jig is awesome. They got a new 24/7 jig that's freaking sweet. Really like a subcompact football style head. Stands up better than anything in its class. Awesome deal. There is the triple threat jig, which is a skirted Ned rig head. I don't know about the 24/7, but the 1099 and the triple threat you can get over at Borders. He just got recently stocked up with those things. Has a ton of those things. The 1099 jig actually was developed by Whitney Stevens, who is a two-time Bassmaster Classic qualifier from up around Waverly. And just the other day, Jacob Wheeler was showing how to rig a jig for the wintertime, and he was using the 1099 jig in his hand to show that, which is pretty daggone cool. This company is 100% United States based, owned by Jesse. And it is around Athens, Ohio. So it's really close. You can potentially drive there and pick them up if you want. Borders has them. Again, really cool stuff. You might check their website out, bluerockcustomtackle.com, if I'm not mistaken. He's got some really cool apparel. His jigs are awesome. They have a copper wire tied for all of the skirts. There's no of the silicone like bands here. Which reminds me, those of you guys that are huge tackle box fans probably can't tell it, but this is the original Goldie skirt. Absolute hammer of a skirt. You might be able to tell the difference if I put this white one up there next to it. You can definitely tell. This is a gold one. This is totally white. I'm telling you, that Goldie skirt right there, freaking hammers. As a matter of fact, I just sold like 45 buzz baits this past week. The old style little squeak buzz baits that Greg Drown used to sell. I've renamed them, called them the Firebird, because they rose from the ashes. As far as I know, I'm the only person that makes them exactly like Greg Drown does, all the way down to the same mold that he used. I don't have his exact same mold, but I have bought a new one, or not a new one. It was a new used one to me. Found this thing on eBay, which is crazy. They don't make them anymore. Got that. He imparted everything he knew about his buzzbait knowledge to me, which I was thankful for. And the only difference between mine is I've upgraded the hooks. He used Eagle Claw hooks. I like Eagle Claw if I'm bluegill fishing, but I have upgraded them to 2-aught mustads. They're a lot sharper, stay a lot sharper. Same buzzbait, better quality hook. Was able to find the Goldie skirt again. Spinner baits with gold blades on the river, freaking fire. Dave Wells there. Just so happens he bought like a dozen of them all from me, or actually 2 dozen, I think. Appreciate your business there, Dave. It means a lot. It just goes to my habit of fishing and spending more money than I should.
Mhm.
Yeah, man. I don't know anywhere that doesn't. Again, definitely dive into that 24/7 jig. I really like it a lot. I don't own any yet, but I'm as they say, I'm fixing to. I'm gonna call him up this weekend. This winter it gets cold. There's nothing else to do. I'm probably gonna call Jesse up and run up there to his house and his shop one day this winter. Shoot a video up there, show some of the products. Maybe we'll do a live on another line on scene type deal there, which would be pretty cool. But Jesse has been a huge help from us as far as like pushing our stuff, and we're trying to do the same for him because again, it's all about helping those mom and pops and people that are giving out to you guys. I see it all the time shared on social media, but it's 100% true. You see that stuff that says next time your sports teams needs a sponsorship, go out to like Walmart or Cabela's and see what they'll do for you. Which is true. I mean, we always look at the mom and pop stores, and when we need a handout, and we're looking for sponsorships, and we're looking for people to give us money, but we've kind of got, and myself included, I'm not throwing myself into this category, is that it's so easy to hop on Amazon or hop on eBay or hop on just Google and search for things or even buying stuff. Like Misty and I have gotten this terrible habit where we'll just order stuff that I could go to Walmart and buy right now. Like I could go right across the river and pick it up. But again, Walmart's a giant corporation. I can go right down here to Food Fair or Village Pantry, whatever it's called now, and buy that stuff. And I've got to the point where it's, I think it's like, it's just a convenient thing. And I think that's why the mom and pop stores are struggling that are still in business. I mean, Borders and the Tackle Box didn't go out because of that. But there was times where he, saw a lot of that coming on too, because he couldn't sell it for what these big, huge conglomerate stores are selling it for. Which, by the way, before we go any further, we're about that hour mark, so we're not going to spend a ton of time talking anymore. But I'm going to show you the deal of the century, if it's still here. They changed the price.
Got him.
Dude, did I ever. Hold on a second. I'm going to show you guys here. I'm sure it was
we might have bought them out.
No, they're still on here. So it might have been Ed or somebody that, I apologize if it was Ed. Somebody, I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off this past weekend. Matter of fact, I think it was on Thanksgiving, or actually it was probably Friday. Messaged me, is like, hey man, did you know the Spro Little John type, or the Little Johns are on sale? I'm going to see if the Little John 50s are this way. They had some crawl patterns that were, nope, these are all 1549 as well. So like this spring crawl right here, this spring crawl in the Little John, the standard Little John, and above and beyond that was right here, this Little John Type R50 in Rayburn Red. They were selling these things over the weekend for $4.65 a piece. I bought 20 of them myself. JR bought some. I sent some to Kyle. Kyle bought 10. My buddy Dusty bought 10. Nate Whip bought some. Jacob Crapu bought some. I bet we bought $500 worth of Type R's, and they're probably well over $1,500 worth of Type R's. But man, I don't know. Again, I apologize if that was Ed or whoever it was that sent that out. That it was a freaking deal, dude. And I absolutely was like salivating when I saw that. It was $11.50 off each one. Dude, Gary, I have been thinking about that a lot. And I think we're going to do it soon, maybe in the spring. We're going to look at seeing what we can do. But I have an idea for a tournament that's going to be it's going to be like none other that you've ever fished. It's going to be like a March Madness spring style tournament. But the reason it's going to be like March Madness is it's going to be a 2-day tournament. It's going to be Saturday, Sunday. Pay the same amount to get in. So it's like $100 a boat to enter, 100% payback. But what happens is that you randomly draw a boat. So there has to be the exact same amount of boats, because nobody can get a buy. If there's 50 boats, then that would work. It has to be an even number of boats, because at randomly, when people join, we'll just randomly match people. I'll use a random match generator, whatever, throw people's names in there, like boat numbers, and you will draw a boat. On Saturday, the boat that you draw, so like, if boat one and boat one, so let's say there's 25 different boats or whatever, it'll be like a March Madness tournament where you're paired up with one other team. All you have to do is beat that one other team on Saturday to qualify for Sunday. Now, Sunday, all the weights, they're going to zero out. That means it's going to be, mano a mano, everybody against everybody. But at that point, it'll be half the field, because half of the field is going to be eliminated. And then it'll be all for the, all in for the money. Now, a couple of things I thought about is, how do you do ties? Well, like, for example, if a boat one and boat one don't catch any fish at all, they've tied at zero. Well, at that point, it'd be a coin flip. It's just luck of the draw at that point. If you can't catch them, then you've got a 50-50 shot of making it to the second day. But all you have to do is beat that one other team. I like that idea, because of the fact that I feel like it's going to bring people in that are not normally tournament fishermen, or people that would like to get into tournament fishing and they'd like to get their feet wet, but don't want to go in and spend a pile of money and have to beat 50 hammers on the river, where they got a shot if they can beat one person one day that you're not fighting, like if you draw somebody like Chris Malone or, somebody like Ricky Barnett or something like that, God be with you. You're going to have to freaking sack them up no matter what. But you just have to beat those one people to, that one boat to get into the second day, which I think is a really cool idea. So look forward to that. And hopefully we can get in. I talked to Brad at Borders. He's interested in a sponsor, and I'm sure Chris Malone can get some things going on there. But again, 100% payback. We do have the Coal Grove boat ramp being paved in the spring, so maybe we'll wait until that thing gets paved and do it as like a kickoff event, which would be pretty cool. The mayor of Coal Grove, Andy Holmes, has been very adamant that he wants to get involved with the fishing scene, especially when we get down there to see what it can do for the Coal Grove side of things. And again, going to have all new pavement down there at the boat ramp, all new lighting package. There's going to be cameras down there. We're going to have a light placed on the pole that's on the floating dock, so the actual ramp is lit, because right now it's freaking it's dark as all get out down there. We're trying to get the floating dock moved on the upriver side of the dock, or of the ramp, which was the dumbest damn thing I've ever seen in my life. If you want to see something crazy, have an engineer put a boat dock in, because they put the floating dock on the downriver side of the ramp, which all the debris coming down the river just gets stacked up on that floating dock, and it stacks right up on the boat ramp, which is crazy. But that's something we could happen. Hopefully that's in. Yeah, Ed. Thank you for that, dude. Like, you saved me a pile of money. Hopefully you jumped in on that too, because like $4.65 a piece, give me a break, dude. Wow, that's a heck of a deal too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tony, I saw you. I'm sorry, Jared, if you've been putting these things up here, but yeah, Tony, we'll definitely get a hold of you. We'll be posting this stuff out there for sure. There's actually some really nice hotels in the area that have just recently been built, so it's not like we live in the armpit of America for bass fishing, Tony. I'm not going to lie to you. So you come here, especially if it's on the river, we're talking like it may take 10 pounds to win the thing, which is a pretty good sack on the river, but it's fun. Mano a mano, plenty of water to run. There's like 50 miles of water here, and I wouldn't be opposed to people locking through, whatever. There's a lot of cool tributaries down this way, but it'd be cool. We can get a lot of people coming in. I think that would be awesome. But that's the goal. I think Shimano, G Loomis would probably jump in on that. Probably get Solar Bath, throw some stuff in there. There's a gas station right around the road here, Speedway, that you can pick up some fuel, right around the ramp. It's going to be a pretty good deal. There's a lot of stuff here. We're actually getting a Taco Bell put in there, so it's not going to be done by the spring, but there's a Wendy's, Subway, places like that in Ironton, or in Coal Grove here, other places in Ironton, but it's that's what we're looking at. So hopefully that it'll be a 2-day tournament, kind of like the river at. But again, we're still in the works with that, trying to get everything done. Want to make it as good as possible. It'd be pretty cool. Do have coming up in a couple months, which is kind of tough to think about right now. Casting for Kids is coming up soon. I assume that the entries for all that stuff will be opening up January 1st, like normal. Again, as far as I know, what made me think of that? I got this Casting for Kids shirt on, but the Paintsville-Yatesville or Yatesville-Paintsville one is already full. I can tell you that. You're not going to have a hope to probably get into that unless a lot of people drop out. There's like 50-some people on the waiting list for that. They're having one at Dale Hollow, I believe.
Cumberland.
Oh, Cumberland, that's right. And then so that's taking place at Douglas, and they're still having the championship, I think, on Chickamauga.
Yep, Chick again, just because the people there were so good. Gosh, I hope the fishing's better this time around. For me, I mean, obviously somebody caught them.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, fellas, we're an hour and 15 minutes in this one. Hopefully you saw some stuff here you can possibly get in on, helping some people if you're on the fence about having somebody buy you some gifts. And that's the biggest thing, man. Like, I just tell people not to buy me stuff anymore, because I'm the type of person, if I want it, I'll just go buy it myself. And I enjoy giving gifts for the holidays. So I don't mind buying people stuff, but I am also in that situation where I get to the point where I think about some people. I'm like, what in the heck can I get these people? Everything we've talked about today, anybody, especially anglers, can use. Again, if you want to spend $10, those pliers are great. If you want to spend $500, I would recommend that Gill Meridian X suit. It's awesome. Stormer is really good stuff too. If you're looking for really cold weather gear, but you're going to have to come out with your checkbook. You're probably looking about $700 for one of their sets. I own one of their sets. Absolutely love it. From this time all the way until really early in the spring, I'm wearing that thing. Getting ready to get the Chasing a Coldwater Giant at Greenbow series fired back up. Really excited about that. Probably going to try to go out this weekend if it is not frigid, freezing cold.
I am ready for bed.
Mic drop. Yep, guys. The 7:30 time frame seems to be working a little bit better for everybody because right now we would just be getting on, and I'm like,
yeah, dude, it's like freaking dark at 5:30. It is. I'm 40.
Yeah, this is 40. Yeah, I'll be 42 in March. So, which, by the way, started back to the gym today. I got a goal to lose 20 to 25 pounds by March. Hashtag fit to fish. Tired of being fat. Look like a chipmunk when I'm in the shower, when I'm looking at myself in the mirror. Like I weighed, lowest I've weighed in like 15 years was 2019, and I weighed 205 pounds. I was doing a bunch of keto stuff. Right now, I'm just trying to eat a lot of lean protein and healthy vegetables. I've been eating the heck out of pecans, which, by the way, I think I'm going to plant a pecan tree. Edwin Evers has pecans, by the way. If you don't know that, his are about 3 times as expensive as anybody else, but they're pretty good pecans. E3 or E squared pecans, they're really good. I think that's how he affords to fish. He's got a pecan like grove. Pecans are awesome, love them. But again, hopefully in the next 3 months, you see me become a shell of my former self. A little bit lighter on the hoof, if you will.
Do it.
Dave, to be honest with you, I haven't even looked, man. I'll dive in that now. I'll see what I can find out for you, man. I've just slipped my mind. I don't know. I'll check them out. But anyway, right before we get off here, obviously going to throw it up here again. This episode brought to you by Hannah Sublett Insurance Broker, protecting your health, securing your future. 740-456-7944. Give her a call if you're looking for health or life insurance in Ohio, West Virginia, and Kentucky. She'll be able to take care of you. And again, I've said it before. You're probably tired of hearing me saying it. She helped my buddy save $900 a month on insurance, which is crazy. He was a high-risk patient. Matter of fact, he was in a really bad barge accident and had one of his legs amputated, which was awful. Glad it's lucky that he's even here. But I'm glad that he is, and I'm glad that she was able to save him a ton of money on insurance. Had better insurance with Hannah than he did previously, saving $900 a month. Health and life is all she deals with. If you're looking for any kind of like automotive or house insurance and stuff, my buddy Kyle Malone, one of my best friends, is actually a State Farm insurance broker out of Troy, Ohio. I can get you hooked up with them as well. But with that being said, guys, it is hour and 18 minutes into this show. Appreciate you guys sticking around with us here, talking fishing, talking gift giving on the 2nd of December. Crazy that it's already December. Again, got some new videos coming out on YouTube here very soon. Chasing a Coldwater Giant series, getting ready to fire back up. And with that being said, you guys can get out there and lean on them. We'll see you next time on Another Line.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of On Another Line Live. We truly appreciate your support, and we couldn't do it without all the amazing folks at home watching week after week. A big thank you goes out to our sponsors who help make this show possible. Malone's Marine, Borders Sporting Goods, Solar Bat Sunglasses, Picasso Lures, Shimano, and Columbia Sportswear. Their partnership allows us to keep bringing you the content you love. We'll see you next time on Another Line. Until then, get out there and lean on them.